All right, everybody, welcome back, and thanks for joining us again here on CalChiro Live. We got some exciting guests for you today, or some exciting information that we're going to talk about. Before we get into that, I want to make a couple of quick announcements. As you guys know, not this weekend, but the next weekend after that, we're going to be having our Seaside Symposium, which is coming up in Monterey. That should be a fun event. Great lineup of speakers. It's really our sports symposium that we've consolidated into a general symposium, but there's going to be a lot of sports-related content. Sean Drake's the keynote speaker. We've got Bo Pierce from the Chiropractic Business Club. We've got Dr. Nick Athens, who, like I shared last week, has been a great mentor for me in my life. So a lot of great content. Steve Capobianco, I know he's been a popular speaker all over the country, and does a lot of stuff in the sports world as well. So some really cool speakers that are going to be there. The venue's awesome. Great location. Looking forward to the boat tour on Sunday after. We're going to be raffling off another ticket to the boat tour today. So make sure you stay on top with that today as part of the presentation. In addition, we're also going to be raffling off $800 today. So let all your friends and the folks know that $800 is up for grabs today. We gave away a Cabo trip last week. That was pandemonium. Dr. Makani Liu won the Cabo trip. That was super exciting. So hopefully we'll give away some money this week and all of that kind of stuff. Also wanted to remind you that we have our legislative conference coming up. Well, before I talk about that, let me just mention quickly that we have a women's masterclass coming up on February 25th. I want to show you the flyer for the women's masterclass here real quick. That's coming up on February 25th. It's got our own Dr. Liz Hafer as one of the speakers. She's past president of CalChiro. Dr. Stacy Duckett, who leads the women's committee here at CalChiro, and then Dr. Nona Javid, who I'm always a huge fan of. She brings great content, great information to the stage. So hope you can join us for that event. That should be a lot of fun. Log into CE21 or reach out to Tiffany. She can help you get registered for that as well. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. I also wanted to let you know some other events coming up here in the next week or so. We've got that legislative conference that I was telling you about. Just quickly share with you what's going on with the legislative conference. That's going to be March 25th at Sacramento, or at the Capitol. So hopefully you can join us for that. If you haven't heard yet, we've got some legislation emerging to put chiropractors back in as categories of providers in the essential health benefits. So basically the Affordable Care Act, which we've been excluded from for 15 years or more, which is something that President Obama said everybody should be included in. We're one of only 4 states still that doesn't include chiropractic as part of their essential health benefits. So hopeful this year will be the year that we can rectify that, but we're going to need your support. We're going to need some effort on behalf of practitioners who want to stand up for themselves in the legislature. So that's a super important event coming up. We also are going to be sponsoring animal chiropractic legislation to basically create access for people who want to use chiropractic for their animals. And this is a very important thing that needs to be rectified right now. That's like the Wild West out there. There's a lot of people just taking care of animals without any knowledge or training of what chiropractic is, or even what maybe animal anatomy is. There's now certified programs for animal chiropractic, and we're asking that those things be recognized. So super important stuff coming up on March 25th that we could really use your support for. As always, we need people to contribute to our political action committee. That's the only way that we can make these things a reality. And I think I finally have it squared away that one of our generous members, has offered up the opportunity basically to, if he wins the money, I want to make sure I get this right. Let me look at our notes. If someone who wins the money today, if they donate half of their winnings to the PAC, he will match half of that of what's donated up to $500. So if someone wins, say the 800 today, he would donate $400 in this case. That's the match that would go towards the political action committee. So I'm super excited about that. That's something that, is very generous of this individual, former board member. We're almost going to have to play like a Masked Singer kind of event here to see if anybody can guess who the person is, kind of thing. And then finally, I wanted to share with you guys, here's the Seaside Symposium. You can see what's going on there. That should be a great event as well. Scan that QR code if you haven't signed up yet to join us. And while you're at it, if you're new to the broadcast, please like and subscribe. There's a little button down there to subscribe to the podcast. It's super easy. Turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. That'll help you to win the money. The more subscribers we can get, the podcast, the better. So please help us in that regard. But without further ado, I wanted to bring today's guest on. I'm going to let Jimmy in here. So you saw his picture. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? There he is. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. Hey, Dr. Phil.
All right. So you saw Jimmy's picture on the welcome slide, and Jimmy is from Bridge Financial. So why don't you just touch a little bit on who you are, Jimmy, what Bridge Financial is, and how you got to this spot?
Yeah, so my name is Jimmy Choi. I'm from a company called Bridge Financial based in Lehi, Utah. I'm the CEO. At Bridge, we help people prepare, value, and sell businesses. So if you want to sell your business now or later, we'll help you understand what the value is, what the revenue drivers are, how you can increase your value, and we actually help with the transaction support as well. So we're business advisors and help out with the brokerage side. Good. So today, got connected with Dr. Phil around some of the things that could help you drive your business and increase your revenue.
Now, I know you've got some some slides you want to share with us, but I also wanted you to talk a little bit about how people maximize business exits, because people reach out to me all the time saying, hey, how do I sell my practice? What's it worth? All of those kind of things, right? So can you talk a little bit about maximizing business exits?
Yeah, definitely.
You want me to bring up the slides right now?
Yeah, can you see my slide right now, Dr. Phil?
Try to share your slides one more time. I certainly know the valuation piece is something that people always get hung up on. That's always something that I get questions on. Okay, good. So I'm going to show your slides here, and you can take us through the maximizing your business exits part first. Yeah, because I think it's an important point that you make here. You got to start preparing yourself for exiting your business, right?
Exactly. We asked a bunch of chiropractors, what keeps you up at night? And growing your practice, patient acquisition, retention, burnout, exit strategy was actually a big topic that what keeps people up at night.
Okay.
Most of the people, chiropractors, are actively looking for additional revenue streams. Sure. And actually, a lot of chiropractors are looking to retire the next 5 years. To your point, Dr. Phil, by the way, I think you're doing a fantastic job with the California Chiropractor Association. There's not a lot of chiropractor associations ran this well. I think this is tremendous value that you're providing to these chiropractors, because if you want to sell your business in 5 years, depending on what your revenue is, if you're growing at 1%, 5%, 10%, your business valuation could look completely different.
Yeah.
So these are the revenue drivers on the right side.
Okay.
That can really help out. And that's kind of the rest of the presentation is you need to understand, number one, what your business is worth. And there's different methodologies that we can help understand your value. But you have to look at realistically, okay, looking at the next 5 years, what are my projections? Can I grow at a 10% or even higher rate? Or is it 1%, 2%? When does it make sense to sell? But you can look at your potential revenue and potential value based on understanding what your gaps and holes are and where you stand today.
Okay. I think one of the most interesting things too, or something to think about, I've heard a lot, you have to start creating the kind of business now that somebody would want to buy, right? So oftentimes we get caught in the chiropractic profession of creating a personality-based practice, right? The patient just wants to come see me, Dr. Phil, right? they won't come see my associate. Well, you've got to start putting the things in place, which is one of the things I appreciate about what you mentioned, that will allow this business to be purchased down the road, right? Which means it can't be personality based. It has to be systems based. We have to start to create monthly recurring revenue that's repeatable, that's cash based, so that that's something when someone purchases it, they're getting what they thought they were buying, right? Because ultimately, if we don't want somebody coming back to us saying, hey, we didn't get what we paid for, kind of thing. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you guys help people with strategic growth and exit plans and things of that nature?
Yeah, good question. We like to benchmark. This is kind of the average chiropractor gross revenue, EBITDA, across the country. So we look at the company, look at the practice. And what we do, Dr. Phil, is we look at 4 different modules. We look at the product market fit,
Okay.
how you're generating leads, how you're converting it, and how you're operating based on your digitization and automation.
Okay.
This is why actually most businesses fail, because of 2 things: lack of product market fit and cash flow. So we're looking at, if you think of the color red, what company stands out to you? A lot of people say Walmart, Target, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, right? So they did a really good job branding and figuring out what colors, what messaging resonates with you, and they did a good job branding. So as a chiropractor, that's so important for you. You're not just a chiropractor that just does adjustments, but you need to understand who your ideal client profile is. And then you message them, and then you say, hey, is my practice, if I were to personify my practice, is it a male or female? Does he have short hair, long hair? Is he funny, serious? What colors look good on him? And then you have to tailor kind of your brand, your product market fit strategy to marketing, SEO, websites. You have to look at how you're converting it. And then I think it's really important for businesses to understand realistically, how am I doing with product market fit, brand, website, lead generation, SEO, reviews, automation. And I think it's really good to understand what can drive my revenue right now and have a quarter by quarter plan. What am I going to work on this month, next month? What's my now, next, later plan? But to answer your question, Dr. Phil, it's really understanding who your ICP is. And I gave a chiropractor example. This is an actual client of ours.
Okay.
This is what product market fit is. How can I sell the same thing or service to the same buyer in the same way with the same results? Right? So we worked with a chiropractor with kind of looking at the 4 modules, and he wanted to work with whiplash patients and athletes. So guess what we did? We looked at the demographics of age, income, lifestyle, occupation, created a mission statement, elevator pitch, get back in the game faster, quick recovery, peak performance, your path to pain-free movement. And then we looked at the tone, the messaging, the colors that look good, the text that looks good, the images that looks good. This was his website before, and then we created it after. And I think this is really important. Awesome. Yeah, so this is what's really important for people to understand is what's going to drive people to click on your website, call to action, there's called CTA buttons, to schedule appointments or buy your services, right? So probably one of the most important
point that you're making, because like I said, I encounter a lot of people that are looking to sell their practice, looking to transition, want to hire associates, all of those kind of things. But they don't know, and they haven't done the work to get to this point, right, where they're ready to get evaluation and they're ready to take that next step, right? And I think that's what's so cool about the service that you're offering is that you're not just listing practices, you're preparing them to be listed, right? And potentially helping people find financing and that kind of thing too. So I'll let you keep carrying on, but I just wanted to make sure I hammered home that point.
No, that's absolutely correct, because most people don't want to sell their business until a few years. But if you want to sell your business in 2 years, you should probably start now, getting the 3 to 5 years of tax and P&L statements, your client list. There's a lot of things you need to get your ducks in an order before you sell. And it's how can you position yourself to sell at a higher price it's a message. It's like selling a house. How can you make it more lucrative? How can you make it more appealing to people? And this
It's
is
such
some
an
of the
emotion.
ways.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying it's such an emotional thing for people too, because this is their life, this is their livelihood. They've invested a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and this is their practice, this is their baby, and they don't want to just sell it to anybody, and they want to make sure that their people are taken care of, And I think that's where what you guys are offering really comes in handy. So go ahead and keep continuing with what you're saying.
Yeah, and like you said, Dr. Phil, the more preparation you have, the more leverage you'll have. You can sell at the optimal price and time. There's a statistics around 20 to 30 businesses that are currently in market will sell. Rest of the 70, 80% of businesses are shutting down without exiting or selling, right?
Wow.
So there's going to be a lot of reasons for that. But number one, make the preparation now. Understand what your value, what your drivers are, and figure out how you can automate and make your business run without you and dependent on you. So that's kind of the rest of the slides that I want to talk about is how we can really, these are the main things that we feel like you can streamline to grow your practice. But the stuff in purple are the areas that we feel like that can drive your business to another level. We work with a bunch of chiropractor businesses that look like this, right? There's some actually, yeah. So we want your practice to be ran by just a computer. And if you aren't using an appointment scheduling software, communication, SMS, email, you really need to look at something like Chiropractors or Jane to help you manage your clients and send out communication and email automation. By having automated emails, there's a 70% higher chance to open the email. There's a boost for repeat customers purchases, and there's a 5% retention increase that can boost your profits by 25 to 95%. So if you're not using newsletters or email automations, this is going to be something that really helps you out. This is an example of our social media or some of the newsletter we have. Automate this. You can automate using Canva, have a calendar, use some of the software to automate your communications, your marketing, and your reactivation. The number one thing that is going to drive your practice is marketing. 90%, this is all of chiropractor data, 90% of chiropractors receive their new clients from word of mouth. Digital marketing is around half. So people have websites, we'll talk more about it, but they're really not utilizing a lot of the strategies that we call digital and traditional. So if you have a website, great. You should utilize social media, SEO, paid ads, influence affiliate marketing. You should probably look into events, partnerships, flyers, word of mouth, community engagements, and networking events. If you're not doing all of this, I would look into it. There's one chiropractor that goes to a networking event and they get 30% of their business for the past 5-10 years from just that event, right? By getting clients.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. You got to continually stay active, right? And you got to create a system. You got to create a process so that your business is purchasable, right? Most people wait so long to say, okay, finally, I'm going to sell my practice. I'm going to hire this company to market it or broker it or whatever. And by that time, it's dying on the vine, right? We want you to be able to sell your practice when it's thriving, when that fruit is ripe, because that's when you're going to be able to maximize your profit. And it's going to be something that you feel good about selling to somebody else, right? You're not just dumping it, because I'll tell you right now, I talk to students all the time. I'm an adjunct professor at Life West. I've got students that are reaching out to me for advice on associate positions and things of that nature. The gig is up, everybody. Nobody wants to buy a dying practice. Nobody not at least for what you want to sell it for. Nobody wants to come work for you and take care of everything and do all the work, and you get half the money or even some of the money, where then they can buy your practice from you eventually. The students aren't falling for that. The new associates aren't falling for that. So let's get serious about doing the things that Jimmy's talking about to get your practice ready to sell.
Thank you, Dr. Phil. And SEO, website, these are some areas digital marketing is going to be crucial for your success. If you want to grow at a 10% growth rate or higher, you have to look at what search engine optimization is. This is best chiropractors near me, right? Okay. Back pain. So 80-90% of the traffic usually for businesses comes from organic SEO. Content marketing is going to be important. Social media. I can't tell you how many videos, like just adjustments of quick short videos, how many views those get. Email marketing, online reviews, testimonials are going to be important. One thing I did want to mention is your website. I would highly, highly, highly recommend for you to look at what your traffic value is. Looking at all the chiropractors in Utah, if you have a good traffic value, it's $500 or more. Let's see, 66% of website, 57%, 11% have a traffic value of $50 or less. Only 1% had a website of traffic value of $500, meaning they have a website and they're actually doing good for them. So appointment scheduling is going to be huge. If you don't have the call to action buttons that can drive more appointments or phone calls or inquiries, that's the number one thing I would look for. Again, this is a before and after of understanding who their ICP is, who their product market fit is, and highlighting some things that would really get people to convert. They work with NFL, NCAA, MLB athletes. So it's really a really strong appeal that gives them validity and trust immediately. So I would look at call to action.
People, I'm sorry, you're really helping people to get their practice to a point where it is marketable, and you're acting as a consultant in that sense when people work with you, not only to sell their practice, but to get their practice ready to sell.
Correct. Because we look at, hey, what marketing channels are you using and why? How effective are they, right? So we help people understand some of the things that they might have not looked at to really help with their client engagement and reactivation. So this is kind of one of the last slides here, Dr. Phil, but it really is email and text marketing, social media automation, reviews. If you buy anything, the first thing like you look for or go to a restaurant is the reviews. Same with your practice. You probably should look into a review loyalty program and reactivation campaign. So these are some of the drivers that we feel like will help your business. And at Bridge, my previous role, I was at a bank. I was a bank executive, and we felt a great need. My co-founders and I felt a great need to help the community. There's a greatest transfer of wealth right now with baby boomers about to retiring. And like I said, 80% of businesses are shutting down. Small businesses, owners like yourself are the backbone of our economy. And we really need small business owners to be strong in this ecosystem to thrive. So our mission at Bridge is to help strengthen families and communities by empowering small businesses. And if you are interested of getting a business plan or valuation, that's what we do. So you can
put that in the chat too, so that people can see that, online, because that's what I really love about what you're doing, is that basically it's more than just the sale to you, right? You guys can do the financing, right? You can do you can broker the sale, right? You can go find the buyer for people, right? But you're also helping people get ready to do that. And I think the point that you make about the amount of small businesses, of which the majority of chiropractors are, like you said, that want to be or need to be perpetuated, right? There's a patient base there that's been loyal to a practitioner that deserves to be taken care of in perpetuity, right? So that they don't have to go back out and find a new chiropractor and get familiarized with a new business, a new location, all of that kind of stuff. I think that's what becomes so important, right? And I think if we can get realistic about what valuations are and what you really are selling, right? Is it just goodwill? Is it your patient list? What are you really selling? And then even if you're willing and ready to get serious about packaging up your business to be better entity to sell, that's even, I think, better for all parties involved, because now these new practitioners that are coming into the market, they have something to buy. They have a mentor in in you as the practice that's being sold to basically learn from, right? And I hear that on both sides of the coin all the time. The practitioner says, I want somebody to buy my business, I'll mentor them, which is great, right? And the associate or the new graduate, they want to buy a business where they can get mentorship and they can get, set up for success, right? It's just, we need the tools like this to be able to bridge that gap for people. And I think, well, that's, I guess, why you're called Bridge. So excellent. Well, thank you, Jimmy, so much for coming on and sharing a little bit. I know we'll put your, let's go ahead and stop sharing. Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and put your information in the chat. People can reach out to you there or come and get a valuation. Is that basically the next step, is if they're curious about a valuation or any of the other information, click on the website?
So there's two areas that we can help out. So we had to stop meeting with people with kind of the business optimizing. We have a little bit too many clients that there's a wait list.
Okay.
But there's two areas that we can help out with. Is we can get your business valuation, your business health score, and like the revenue driver. So we can deliver a business valuation or a business plan, are the two areas. And that's kind of a 30-page, what your business is valued at and why, and the 30-page, here's a business plan, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and we can provide that for you. But we can't do the advising part right now. There's a wait list for that.
Gotcha. And is what's the cost associated with the valuation and what you're talking about and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we provide certified valuations that are $2,000, $1,999, and then also business plans are $1,999 as well. If you do want to sell your business, our brokerage fee is significantly lower at 5% is what we charge for our brokerage transaction fee. So. And then
what about how long does the process take to, I guess, have your business evaluated?
It takes around a week or two after we get all the information. So we'll sign an NDA, but we would love to see your financials and tax returns and understand a little bit more about your business. So we have a questionnaire. And then, I don't know, probably many of you heard of Goldman Sachs or McKinsey or Bain.
Sure.
This is kind of the level of consulting that we did for these large enterprises in our previous roles. So we would do this type of really comprehensive, holistic planning and looking at your business plan for you.
Excellent. I'm sure you got to get all your statistics together and your office visits and your office visit average and your collections and all of that kind of stuff. So if you want to know any more, reach out to Jimmy. Thank you so much for being here. I'm always willing, here at CalChiro, we're always willing to help people and support them in whatever fashion or form we can. So if you have questions about that kind of stuff, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any of those questions. So before we do we're going to give away some money, Jimmy. So or try to give away some money. You're going to stick around and join us?
Sure, I'll be around.
Right. This is where the fun starts. So we'll bring the wheel up here in just a second. Let's get the wheel loaded up. But I wanted to remind everybody about the sports symposium. It's in 2 weekends. If you're looking, I have some students that are interested and willing to go. They're looking to get some sponsorships for that. If you're interested in sponsoring a student, I could certainly pair you up with them. I'm sure that would go a long ways towards recruiting somebody like that to work in your business. That's something that I've noticed in a lot of cases that, this is a process of recruiting and cultivating. So if you want to embrace that concept and support a student to go to the sports symposium, I have about 4 or 5 that are interested in going. Let me know. Do we have the wheel almost ready to go, Tiffany? We should be getting close, I think, to getting the wheel up. Let's just make sure. Are we going to share the screen? Okay. All right. We've got the wheel up. And I'm going to go ahead and let Tiffany spin the wheel. Mark Mashaki, you have 30 seconds. I should have reminded everybody to be eligible to win. You have to be a member. You have to be on the broadcast. You have to respond in the chat within 30 seconds. Last week, we had a few people that I know personally that could have won. Oh, man, it was tears in my office because one of my staff members is the person who won the drawing, but she wasn't on the broadcast, and I haven't lived it down all week. So hopefully we'll get a winner today. We're going to do 8 names today. All right, Matt Coleman. Matt Coleman, you have 30 seconds. Yeah, that's definitely been a heartbreaker this week for my staff, but I also saw some names there of my longtime mentor, Jim Nacarado. He was on here. We saw Dr. Pauline Anderson, but we did have Dr. Makani Liu, who won that Cabo trip, so that was outstanding. Joe Ibe, your name is in there. I promise you. There are no fake names in here. So, all right, let's do Holly Iniguez. Holly Iniguez, you are our 3rd winner. Hopefully Holly's here to win the money. I see some of our, it's interesting. I would say today, I would think that there'd be like 60, 70 people with us today. Nobody must be sharing that there's $800 to give away, or I guess people don't really like money. So, here's the Chiro pug. She's covering her eyes again. All right, so it doesn't look like, well, I guess we got a couple more seconds for Holly, but that was name number 3, so we've got 5 to go. Michael Ziegler, you've got 30 seconds to come and claim your money. I sure learned a lot today, about Bridge Financial. One of the things that I have in getting to know them a little bit more, they can provide a lot of data and a lot of intel for our profession. It's certainly something I want to investigate as an association, because we can use all the intel we can get when we go to these legislative days that we're holding, like on March 25th. So, Michael Ziegler, it doesn't look like you're here. Claudia Sanchez. I think we're on name number 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody in the chat. They usually let me know if I'm off on my count. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of my fingers. If we get too many people on here, then I'm going to have to start counting on my toes and my fingers, but we'll see how that works out. That was name number 5. See, I got off track. So that was name number 5 for Claudia Sanchez. I don't see Claudia with us today, or nobody's responding in the chat. So name Hannah Durbin DeFebre. I hope I didn't butcher that name too badly, but you are name number 6. What is this 3-way split that I hear of? I don't know much about this 3-way split, but okay, I see. Now we got some collusion going on in the chat. There we go. Hannah, you are named number 6. I'm not sure you have 5 seconds to get on the broadcast here and claim your prize, but doesn't look like today is the day. Joseph Aglaniter. Hopefully I pronounced that one correct. Man, you're giving me a run for my money here today, Tiffany, on all the pronunciations on the names. I'm going to have to start practicing these before we do the drawing. That was name number 7. So that means if Joseph is not here with us today, we're going to do name number 8, and that will be our final name for today, which means if no one wins, next week is $900. If we can't get people to show up for $900, oh my gosh, she just commented in the chat. I think we might have a winner here today, folks. I think we might have a winner because I saw a comment in the chat. All she has to do is say, I'm here, and she will win the money. Oh my gosh, this could be pandemonium. Is Jandy still with us? Oh, there's Jandy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner this week. $800 to Dr. Jandy Collins. Congratulations, and thank you guys so much for being on the broadcast. That was awesome. I love the fact that we were able to give away the money on the last week of the broadcast. Oh, that was cool. So thank you so much for being here. Next week, we will not have a broadcast. Actually, I misspoke. I apologize. I'll be traveling. The staff will be traveling for the Seaside Symposium. Let me know if you want to interact with some students, and let me know if you would like to sponsor any students. I'm sure they would be super grateful. Also, we have the boat trip. Excuse me, I forgot. Thank you so much. How many more boat trips do we have, Tiffany? I need to know how many boat trips we have. We have 3 trips on the boat for Sunday after the symposium. So let's do this. I need to write down a number from 0 to 100. Okay, I'm writing down a number from 0 to 100 right now. If you want to be on the boat, I'm going to show you guys that I've written down the number on this little Post-it note here. So for the next 30 seconds, choose a number from 0 to 100, and the 3 closest people to get the number without going over will be able to join us on the boat tour Sunday after the symposium. So if you'd like to join us, if you're going to be at the symposium, please submit a number now. If you just want to come on the boat, I guess you can do that too. But we would love to see you at the symposium. At least stop by, say hello to some sponsors, things of that nature. You know, we're going to be having our district day of engagement, or really district meeting of engagement. Some super important discussions going on there. So I really encourage people to come out and share with us what you want to know about CalChiro, or what you're hoping to achieve in your district or in your area. If there's something that you do want to achieve, you know, ideally we can help in that regard or support you in that endeavor. Got some other super fun stuff coming up, like a pediatric symposium at the end of May. So pay attention to that one coming down the wire. We have our fall conference in September. That's Labor Day. You're not going to beat the room rates that we're getting at these places. The location of the Shell Beach Symposium, Pediatric Symposium, what a resort. The cliffs in Shell Beach is amazing. The Disneyland event for the fall conference is going to be incredible. You won't get the kind of rates on the room block that we're going to be able to get, plus the park tickets. So just let me know if there's any way that I can support you further. I won't see you guys next week, but we'll be back after the week after to bring back the live broadcast. Thank you guys so much. I did say Legislative Day, March 25th. We will see you in a few weeks. Goodbye now.